This is Pao Salute for PowerCastSports.com. I'm here with my friend Daniel Estrella. This podcast is about Wilder and Fury fight, and we know what happened. I'm sure you watched the highlights. Of course, the fight is a draw. Let me just say the score. We got 115, 115, 111 for Fury. I'm sorry for Wilder, and we also have a 114, 110 for Tyson Fury, and 113, 113 for a draw. Personally, I don't think that is right, but decisions are made, and Tyson Fury looks like he's okay with it. But I'm gonna ask my friend here, Daniel. Daniel, what do you think about the fight?
Wow, honestly, I don't know how any of the judges could have had this fight for Wilder at all. Even despite these knockdowns, one of the knockdowns, in fact, if you ask me, the fight should have been called. But no, Wilder didn't. If you ask me, Wilder won maximum of 4 rounds. 4 rounds. This is a robbery. This fight was indeed a robbery.
Okay, a lot of people are saying that indeed it was. Tyson Fury and if you agree with me here, Tyson Fury, even after a long, vacation from boxing, he was the more superior boxer there. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, he showed his true boxing skills and everything. Even though he's been on a long layoff and his past two fights were against people we don't know. Fury did show that he's still a good boxer and he's very limber for someone that size. I mean, he's a really big guy and he moves like a welterweight.
Yeah.
Very very impressive performance there.
Yeah, Fury. He mentioned that a year ago this date he was 400 pounds, and that's about 150 pounds less. And he was quite impressive the way he moves and slipping and sliding on those punches. But I wanted to talk to you about the knockdowns. He got hit twice. I think one. I forgot the round, the first one, but the last
Round
one.
eight.
I'm sorry. Which round?
The first knockdown was in round number 8.
Number 8. Round number 8. It looks okay. But round number 12, man, that combination punch came from hell. I don't know how in the world Tyson Fury was able to get up.
Oh man, these are the type of knockouts that these people, we'd see these boxers, they wouldn't be able to get up for minutes. These knockouts are the knockouts that send fighters to the hospital. They have to go to the hospital to have it checked. It's beyond me how he was able to get up from that. But what's even more beyond me was how the referee did not stop the fight.
Oh.
It looked like he hit his head on the canvas and he was unconscious.
Yeah, for a while he was just staring. Maybe for a good
Yeah.
5 seconds, he wasn't moving at all.
He looked like Ergie Haddon when he got knocked out by Manny Pacquiao, and that knockout, they stopped it right then and there. No more count.
Yeah, well, I did look at the eyes of Fury. However, it looks like it's okay. So
Yeah.
for me,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a good non-stoppage call.
Yeah, it's a good non-stoppage call. It's right now I'm thinking it was a good non-stoppage call, but usually if you look at it from another angle and you see the impact of that knockout, it looked like, oh wow. But other than that, it really amazed me because this was 12 rounds, a 12 round being outclassed. You in fights like these, whenever you say this guy needs a knockout to win, the knockout usually doesn't happen. But wow, Wilder did show that he has power and could indeed knock Tyson Fury out.
Yeah, and Tyson Fury is a big guy. Tyson Fury now
Big guy.
drops to 27 and 1 lost, and this has been, I think, a learning experience as well for Tyson Fury. But for, what do you think would be next? Do you think Wilder would now be fighting, the other guy, Joshua?
Anthony Joshua. Honestly, I don't know much about Anthony Joshua, but based on all of this, I don't really see the fight happening next. I don't even see Tyson Fury fighting Anthony Joshua next, because if we look at it from my point of view, Anthony Joshua he's ducking them both. He doesn't want anything to do with them. So, in my opinion, the next fight would probably be a rematch between the two.
Yeah, well, they talked about it in the press con, but Tyson Fury said he just wanted to relax first and see what plan next year probably. He did say that he trained for 10 weeks for this fight, and kudos to him. I don't really want to dwell on the decision, but it looks like this is something that a lot of people are really talking about. Whether it's a fair one, it's a good one. You said it's a robbery.
Hmm.
Yeah, just going back to it, how did you score it?
Actually, I didn't score the fight, but like as I said, for me, 4 rounds maximum went to Wilder. 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm. So 4 rounds, just went to Wilder.
Hmm. Just four rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's including the knockdowns.
That including the which round, the 8 or the 12?
Both round 8, 12, and the first round went to Wilder for me because he was the aggressor and Fury he was still feeling Wilder out. So the
Yeah.
first round, and then there was one close round that I don't remember which round it was, but I gave Wilder a slight edge there.
So Daniel, are you telling me that Fury won the rounds where he got knocked down?
No, Fury didn't win the rounds that he got knocked down, but he won the other rounds that he didn't get knocked down.
Okay. I thought because I just attended this boxing seminar. It's impossible, quite impossible to do that. But yeah. So actually, this fight, it's a decision. It's the first, I believe, from Wilder. It's the first decision win. How did you feel about the stamina of Wilder?
Oh, the stamina of Wilder's it was fantastic. He didn't gas out. But other than that, what really was bad about Wilder was he didn't show that he was intending to change his game plan all throughout the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He was still going all throughout with the fight with his overhands and whatnot. What could have won Wilder the fight? What could have really won the fight was if Wilder went for the body more. Because I saw a bunch of rounds where Wilder got Fury to the body and it looked like it hurt Fury.
It does. I think that there are some instances that did happen. For me, however, I think Tyson Fury should have just lay off in the in the last round because we all know that he's winning the fight.
He was winning the fight
Yeah,
in the last round, and he got clipped.
yeah. So, and we know that Wilder has that intention already. That he really need to knock this guy out.
Yep.
That didn't happen, but that changed the scorecard.
Yeah, it did. It put a big impact on the scorecard, but nevertheless, it wasn't enough for him to even win
Mm.
win the fight on point.
Okay.
He had to stop him.
Okay. Would you want to see a rematch?
Oh, absolutely. I'd want to see a rematch, but I don't think the rematch will be as intense as the first fight.
Ah, they said that it could happen, and looks like Furious Camp wants that to happen in London.
Yeah, that would be. Deontay Wilder said it doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter to him where it happens. He wants to do it again. And Tyson Fury said he doesn't. It's based on what he said. It seems that he doesn't want to leave his family to have to go to training camp in the United States. So yeah, let the fight happen in London.
What happened in that fight? You said it's not gonna be as maybe interesting, but what would happen in that fight? You think after 12 rounds of learning from each other and knowing about the tendency of each other's fighter, what would happen in this next fight if it did happen?
That it's unpredictable. But if Wilder if Wilder works in his timing and his boxing more, I think Wilder can beat Fury by stoppage.
Oh, okay. Any other thoughts before we end this podcast? And by the way, thank you very much for, this is a kind of an instant podcast. Just
Yeah, of course.
yeah, but
No problem.
any other thoughts or anything you wanted to discuss on the fight?
On the fight, nothing much. But I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
You watched the full fight of the Carlos Licona and Mark Anthony Barriga, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
What did you see? What did you see in that fight?
I see two great champions. Licona was really good. I don't want to take anything away from Licona. It is a very, very close fight. And the camp of Barriga knows this. It's a close fight. Each round, each and every round is important. Again, on my perspective, I think it could have gone either way. But I still wanted to give kudos to Mark Anthony Barriga for giving all his heart. But what I saw there, and I think if you saw the fight, I'd like to ask you what your thoughts are as well. But Mark Anthony Barriga may have waited a little bit in the first few rounds. We already know that Mark Anthony Barriga is a good technical fighter and is a good counterpuncher. And he waited for that moment. And it didn't quite come, and Lincona built up the score, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole fight because my computer lagged. But when I saw the first round, it looked like Barriga was landing the cleaner punches, and Licona was coming forward and getting hit. Licona looked like the aggressor, but when if it comes to the cleaner punches, I'd give the fight to Barriga.
Yeah, well, I think what was missing is more of the consistency, or maybe a little more volume in reference to his punches. Like what I said, this kind of fights, you rarely see a knockdown, and we already know based on their records. So the punches and the consistency of the punches may be one of the integral reasoning of the judges to score the points. And I think Barriga should have done a little bit more in reference to those jabs, and may have engaged early in the fight.
He did what he usually does. Yeah, I agree with that. He should have been more aggressive. But everyone was saying that they're both technical boxers, they're chess masters. But I saw something different in Licona tonight. He showed your average Mexican style. Come forward, and throw your punches. We saw a Mexican style fight in Licona. As for Barriga, he's basically a sitting duck because all his fights are out there on YouTube. And I wanted to think about analyzing the fight before it did happen, but I couldn't see any videos on Carlos Licona on YouTube anywhere. Just pictures, video interviews. But Barriga is all over the place.
Yeah, well, Barriga is established Filipino boxer already, Olympian. Licona, you're right. He was more aggressive, definitely. But they're both technical. I would still say that Barriga is more skilled. It probably went to the strategy. Their strategy in the fight. And Licona had a good strategy in engaging Barriga and getting those points.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually was overhearing Sean Gibbons and the team of Joben Sports, or the survival camp, Barriga's camp, saying jabs, jab, go engage, throw the first jab. But Licona was doing that and so forth. That's what happened.
Yeah, he did show that he struggled with the pressure of Licona. I'd say probably the times I wasn't watching, I wasn't able to see the parts where Licona was landing the clean shots. But I did see one point where Licona landed a clean left hook to Barriga, and it looked like Barriga thought that he needs to change something up.
Yeah,
attack more.
Barriga did actually have some good moments there with the counter and his movements. But again, I think Licona just were much more busier, and that's what happened. And they gave the rounds and the score to Licona.
Licona showed that he was busier. Barriga was landing the cleaner punches. So these are the type of fights that are hard to score.
Okay. But yeah, Barriga will still be revered, and he did do well. He put his art out, and I know Barriga personally. I'm sure you do as well. And Robert Garcia at the end of the bout, I was overhearing on the video that says keep fighting. One day you will be a champion. and I have no doubt that it will happen.
I have no doubt as well that it will happen. You know, he has a true heart. He has the skills of a champion, and he has the discipline of a champion. You know, that's why both him and Jerwin Angas are on their way to the top, because this is one thing I noticed that lacks among many boxers in the world. Why they're good but they don't make it to the top is because they lack the discipline in training. But Barriga and Angas, they showed true discipline in training and craft and everything. And they just depend on their coaches. You know, they don't watch the videos. They don't watch the videos of their opponents. Coach Joven, according to them, Coach Joven does all the watching, and he strategizes with them. Because as a fighter, you know, it's tough. You know, if you're gonna watch the videos of the guy you're gonna get against, you're gonna overthink, and a lot of the things you do in training, it will not happen in the fight. But you know, props to Barriga. He did show that he was a true skilled boxer. He didn't try to go for the knockout. Licona tried going for the knockout, but Barriga's timing was there today, and he did improve in his power. You know, if you could hear when you hear the punches of Barriga land, it sounded pretty like solid, powerful blows. And when I spoke to Barriga about a month before the fight, he told me, he told me in Tagalog, para sa akin yung bagsak hindi sa lakas, sa timing.
Mm-hmm.
In translated to English, that's for me. The knockouts, they don't come from power; they come from timing. But nevertheless, he said that he still wants to work on his power, and he did. But at the same time, he maintained his power and his movement at the same time. And you know, he did show a lot of heart in the fight. It was a good fight, you know. Congratulations to Carlos Licona. He did well. He was able to turn the tables quick, because if you watch the first few rounds, it looked like he was struggling really badly against Barriga, and it looked like he was just getting gigil, but he was able to turn the tide.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gave him a big edge in this fight.
Yeah, like what I said, it could go either way, but yeah, don't want to take anything from the Mexican fighter.
Yeah.
But you know, I was just thinking when you mentioned, imagine if Mark Barriga would really develop that power punch. He can talk, he can play, he can fight. You know, he would be a celebrity too. So
Yeah.
yeah. So well, keep your heads up, and I'm sure. I wanted to see Mark Barriga when he returned back to the Philippines, and want to
Of
congratulate
course.
him personally. But yeah, I mean, Daniel, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity to learn about your insight with the recent fights with Wilder and with Barriga. Hopefully, we can do this again.
Yeah, of course. Also, by the way, this coming December 16 or 15, there will be a boxing event. It's not really this event. You know, these type of events aren't really much known, but
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to be there. The main event will Juan Miguel Elorde. He'll be defending his WBO Asia Pacific
Wow. Okay.
super bantamweight title against an unknown opponent, of course.
This will be in Parañaque.
This will be in Parañaque. Yeah.
All right. So December
But,
16th at the
yeah.
Ilorde Sports Complex.
Are you in the undercard? We're gonna have a really good fight. You know are you familiar with Marlon Panyamogan?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Marlon
Panyamogan.
Panyamogan, yeah, he's gonna be in action again against his very first opponent. You know, Jimmy Bourbon.
I know a familiar name as well. Maybe we can call the fight. Maybe I should do a live
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really good fight. Well, Panyamogan, he's known for his power punching. They're both power punchers and brawlers.
I'm
And it's a
interested with
rematch.
the opponent of Juan Miguel Orde. Where's
Yeah,
this guy?
They're still searching for one, but I guarantee this will be a good matchup. Whoever
So-
they put him up against, this will be a really good card.
Well, you know what, Daniel? I really hope so. Nothing against the Elordes. I mean, the Juan Miguel is good fighter, but the last opponents previously was really just no match. Was just knocked
Oh
out.
yeah,
So hopefully they can get some formidable guy for 1 mig, and I will try my
Yeah.
best to personally be there. So
Yeah,
I'll
of
see you
course.
there.
I'll see you there, my friend. Thank
All
you
right.
very much for your time.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. And
Take care.
again, this is Pao from Pauka Sports, and that's Daniel Estrella. And keep following, liking, and comments. Let us know what you think about our conversation today. Thanks.